not a question to make an entire video about, but about that. I'm actually going to group this question with another one that got asked around the same time because they have similar themes. I'll let you decide whether technically the entire video really is about the question or not. First one reads, if you frequently get best overall splatter in games, you are losing. Is that actually a bad sign instead of good? Because it signifies that your team can't win if you're the strongest or close to it, and therefore you're unable to carry? Or alternatively, do these medals even mean anything at all, and should they just be ignored? The second one asks something similar. If I'm getting most kills, paint, etc., and I'm still losing games, what are some mistakes I could be making that I could improve on? I want to push back on both questions to varying degrees for being more results-oriented than I would like, as opposed to process-oriented. I've got a whole video about why results-oriented thinking inhibits learning. Just asking, how do I win and not lose, isn't helpful. We have to develop a theory of how we win the game. What tactical objectives we need to accomplish to make a win happen, and focus on those objectives. Obviously, winning and losing aren't necessarily useless metrics. If you feel like you're accomplishing all the things that you set out to accomplish, and you're still losing games when you do that, clearly you need to reassess your goals to get to the next level. For the most part, though, what's more helpful than thinking about wins and losses is thinking about things like positioning, how you took fights, decisions about playing the in-game objective, awareness. Stuff that I, as a coach, can only see if I watch the actual gameplay back. I can't answer these particular questions in full because I don't have actual gameplay of your matches to watch. There are all sorts of things that might be happening in either of these cases. It might be that you're winning a lot of fights, but the fights you're winning aren't stopping the enemy team from playing the objective. It might be that you're doing a great job painting the map, or it might be that you're spending time painting parts of the map that aren't especially relevant for a special that doesn't provide as much value as you'd be getting by being present in mid sooner and having a smaller number on the end screen. It might be that your perception that you play well in a lot of games that you still lose is based on cognitive biases. Maybe those games aren't that common. Maybe those aren't the most common outcomes, but they're just the outcomes that frustrate you the most and therefore stick out in your memory. I don't have opinions to share because I can't sit down and look at replay codes and match histories to decide which of those things is actually happening for both of you. What I will do, though, is contextualize how I view the post-game medals. The medals can be useful data for assessing how a game went after the fact, but they're not something to rely on by themselves. Maybe the Rainmaker carrier made some insane plays to stay alive and keep the push going, or maybe they got the objective medal because their team splatted everyone and carried them. Maybe you got overall splatter because you were doing a great job of staying aware of the game state and helping out in every fight that happened, coordinating with your teammates and amplifying everyone's ability to control space. Maybe you just played NZAP and had a terrible KD ratio but threw so many tacticoolers that you got credit for everyone else's homework. Point sensors give you assists, coolers give you assists, AoE bursts that randomly catch someone that you didn't continue to fight sometimes get you assists. It's not that those things are useless either. Having the team marked for so much of the game does genuinely make everyone else's jobs easier. But I don't look the same way at an 11-1 scoreline for a snipe rider as I would for a blaster. If I really want to assess the impact I had on any of my games, if there are lingering questions about what I could be doing better, I'm going to open the replay. I'll look at my perspective slowly, pausing when needed to look for visual cues I might have missed that could have been actionable. I'll see if there are mechanical mistakes I'm making, whether my opponents actually managed to punish them or not. I'll look at the overhead and see what macro-level effect my gameplay had on the other players in the match. Were there fights I didn't notice happening elsewhere on the map? Did someone sneak past me and I didn't enforce my zone of control? Am I keeping the objective in my team's favor, or would it have been possible for the enemy team to ignore me and score regardless of what I was doing? Now, it's a lot of thinking to do all of that for every game. I don't recommend spending 50 minutes out of every hour just VOD reviewing. But if you ask questions about whether you're carrying, what's causing the game not to go your way when the metrics you're considering are saying you did well, and you don't have immediate answers, your replays are where you need to go if you want to find them. The last thing I'd caution is to worry about your incentives. Are you really asking these questions because you want to learn more about the game and get better at it? There are a lot of people who think they want to get better because they think that's what they should want. That's what everyone encourages them to do. But when presented with opportunities to analyze in new ways, try to break stubborn habits, do all the breaking and reworking and rehearsal that's required for improving at something, they make an excuse not to and shrug it off. Maybe you'd definitely like to have better results on the end screen, but the process of getting there is more work than you're willing to put in, and so this is what you're going to get. If you're playing to improve, you're not going to look for simple answers to the complex question of how to win in this 4v4 video game that has 25 stages and 173 weapon kits. You're not going to get an easy flip of the switch that brings a higher win rate most of the time. Whatever improvement you'll see will be tailored to you. Have multiple work-in-progress goals that you're trying to reach for simultaneously. It'll need to be based on breaking down old habits, breaking inertia and actually changing something, instead of just trying to log more hours and hope the problem goes away by itself. It will take a longer time than you want it to take, and it will be so gradual that the only way you'll even notice it happened is because you looked back on 2-month-old footage and was like, oh wow, I played really bad back then. Maybe that effort is worth it for you. Or maybe it's better spent on something else in your life right now, and you can let yourself play for fun instead of to improve. I do think it's good to practice learning in the game, because it'll help you learn new things in other areas of life, and I do find it rewarding. But also, I have a way of making money from playing it, and I have an agenda of using the game as a tool to try and teach other things. Why are you playing Splatoon? And don't just say it's fun. Why is it fun? What's fun about it? Do you like being able to mechanically outplay an opponent? Do you like the feeling of a wordlessly coordinated team play going exactly as planned? Do you like expressing yourself by using a weapon or playstyle that's uncommon and having the creativity to find a way to make it work? If I showed you the end screen after a game, do you really think you'd be able to tell me whether any of those things that you want had happened just from those numbers?